Hey everyone, Nick Engvall here. Before we get into today's episode, I want to tell you about some of the people that make the sneaker history community and this podcast possible. It's more important than ever to think about who you give your money to when you're buying clothing to go with your kicks. Our friends at Guilty Goods started their brand with a goal of giving back, especially to the communities that make sneaker culture possible. With every purchase from Guilty Goods, at least 10% of the proceeds are donated to organizations like Big Brothers and Big Sisters, the Susan G. Komen Foundation, the Movement for Black Lives, and many more. You can save 30% on your order by using the code HISTORY at guiltygoods.us. Again, that's history at guiltygoods.us for 30% off, and you can feel good about your purchase knowing you're supporting a meaningful cause. Sneakers are all about presentation, and if you're like me, displaying your kicks at home or in the office is just as important as when they're on your feet. Sneaker Throne makes sneaker display cases featuring customizable LED lights, drop-side cases to showcase the entire side of the shoe, not just the heel or the toe, the whole shoe. They've also got display cases for trading card collectors and hat collectors. To me, it's the perfect way to display your collection. You can save at least 10% on your Sneaker Throne order by using the code HISTORY at sneakerthrone.com. That's history at sneakerthrone.com. If you're a Patreon supporter or a member of our Discord community, you already know about Kicks with V hot sauce and his small batch, locally sourced hot sauce. V has been one of the biggest supporters of sneaker history and the podcast since the early days. He's currently the defending champion in our community trivia nights competition. Kicks with V hot sauce has been a huge hit with the community. You can save 10% on your order by using the code SneakerHistory10 at kickswithvhots.com. That's SneakerHistory10 at kickswithvhots.com. Now, you're probably here because you like sneakers, and if you join the Discord, you know our community is about so much more than that. Whether it's the marathon-like community calls, trivia night debates, the in-person meetups, or just sharing our favorite experiences, we found that although we have such different backgrounds, we all have some unexpected shared passions. Not only does the entire community look out for each other when it comes to releases, we're like a support group for life in general. You can join the Discord community for free by heading to the show notes of this episode. After you're done listening to this episode, tell someone you like their kicks today. You never know how far a simple compliment can take you, and we all know how good it feels to have someone show their appreciation. Now let's get into today's episode.
To shake off starts. Oh, what a LeBron James with no regard for human life. Final seconds. Bryant for the win. Iverson against Gill, the crowd on its feet. Allen for the win.
To the Sneaker History Podcast.
What's up, Richie Riches? Welcome to another episode of the Sneaker History Podcast. I open that way because we're going to start the show with what shoe you would pay $2 million for. What game-worn sneaker would you pay for? So Mike, Rohit, my gentleman, let's start with Rohit. You have something on your mind, I can tell. What shoe you paying $2 million for?
I will be paying $2 million Shroot bucks, Stanley nickels, whatever you want to call it, whatever currency. Give me the Kobe 11 fade to black that he wore in his very last game.
Ooh. I mean, can't really even.
That was mine too. So
Sorry. I'm so sorry. Do you want to go
I have a
half?
plan
Like,
B.
I'll pay $1 million, you pay $1 million, and then we can timeshare it? Okay, if that case, because Robbie is senior Kobe expert on the podcast, let me think of something else. You know what? I'll go for what was Ray Allen wearing when he hit that shot against Mike's beloved San Antonio Spurs? Give me a pair of those. Give me that exact pair.
Jordan
Because I would
28?
make the argument that that might be the most important shot in modern NBA history, because it gave LeBron his second title, and it was no longer a question of, is this guy a one championship wonder? No, the Kings' reign was finally solidified. It was finally bolstered with credentials, and we now knew that that ushering in of a new era was formalized.
it was the Air Jordan 28. Good pick. Mine's already been said, so we're good with that. Mike, what are you feeling, man?
I got one, and I have to because it disrespects the Spurs so much more. It is going to be T-Mac's 13 points in 30 seconds in the T-Mac 4. I'll take that as he played for my beloved Rockets at the time when this happened.
Crank that with the T-Mac 4. The little heel mechanism.
The little thing, yeah.
But no, the Kobe 11 Rohit picked the ultimate one because, I mean, what's a more fun memory than walking off with 60? So what shoe are you going to pay crazy money for? We bring this all up because the Air Jordan 13 bread or playoff, well, the breads, not the playoffs. Sold for $2.2 million at auction. So that kind of got our brains thinking before we get into rocking and copping. So does either one of you want to start us off with rocking or what they're copping? Both grab shoes. Quick.
I'm grabbing things.
I'll go ahead and start us up. My rocking was also what I copped, which was the LeBron NXT takedown model. $80 with an employee discount is still a tad too high for me, but love the shoe. Was able to finally play basketball after an 18-month imposed sabbatical, and they broke in relatively quickly, and I'm looking forward to continuing wearing them on this basketball journey as I become a homeless man's Boris Diaw.
I feel you on that, Rohit, because that's still too much money for even on
takedown.
sale. That's tough.
Yeah.
It's a tough shoe, though.
It's a great shoe.
It looks good.
But yeah.
All right.
So the Rock and Coppin won. Go ahead, Mike.
All right. So I've joined Robbie in the On Club. I got the, what is it? On Cloud Flash. They're Essence exclusive. I understand why Robbie likes these shoes now. I mean, these are more on the super performance side of the spectrum, but super still comfortable to walk around. And they really made these to be, I guess, street ready with the colors and all that good stuff. To look like a kiwi color. Yeah, I understand, Robbie. I get it. I'm not going to ever question your judgment again about the On because they're spectacular shoes. So appreciate On for actually sending that pair out. So thank you guys. Coppin, I'm going to have to go with a weird one, but it's one I've been eyeing, but they just haven't released here in the States yet. But now Clot and Nike are going to be releasing their Cortez collaboration. I really like that shoe. This one's going to be in a Forrest Gump color. They're already like retailing below right now because no one wants them here. So I will be eyeing for that one whenever it does come out.
With like the wrap around them, right?
Well, it's like so they built it like, I guess, like the old traditional like Kung Fu style sneakers where you can pull it out, have like the real flat style sneaker, but it also has like the shoe covering that goes across almost like a shroud, if for lack of a better word. So it's pretty cool. Friend of the show, Shanghai Soul Jay, I think he has the white and black pair, and those things are so slick. It's such a cool shoe, and it's just something you would really see them wearing. And you know me, I'm kind of just off the beaten path sometimes.
Mike has the Eye of the Dragon. Very, very cool shoe. Shroot bucks are being used and shoe shrouds are being put on. Personally, I have not stopped wearing the crazy one, and I'm not just saying that, but like I keep wearing this damn shoe because it's not to get too technical with my own feet, but a lot of shoes nowadays, I need a 12.5, and these are like the holy grail fit of 12.5. This fits like a 12 with that 0.5 extra. My foot isn't too much more boxy in them, but no, I wear these almost. Nice. I wear them literally multiple times a week. And when it comes to copping, also people quit tagging me on all the On memes. They're funny though, but anywho,
I haven't seen those yet.
I haven't.
Right now, there's a lot of
will
funny
tag
ones.
you now that you've asked me to tag you.
And for my copping, they may be mortal enemies to my Lakers, but D-Book, man, the Suns, I'll let that part of him go. I've been a D-Book fan for a couple years now, man. He's such a down-to-earth person. It almost sounds like feel like there's something wrong with him. Like he wants like so little attention while still keeping it so real. Like I like that about him. But he has a Chuck 70 collab coming out. Actually just released by the time this episode comes out. But it has a really cool classic car heel plate, kind of like a license plate of a car where the chevron normally is on the back of the Chucks. They replaced that with the classic cars tag. They got rid of the toe box on the Chuck 70, which makes it kind of feel like, in my eyes, kind of like a deconstructed Nike Blazer, if you look at it that way, without the toe box on it. Stitched on chevron on the inner ankle, all sail construction. Is super clean, man. If you've never owned a pair of Chuck 70s, I highly recommend getting a pair, and maybe these Devin Booker ones are going to be the pair for you. Either one of you interested in any random questions to throw out there? But I mean, there's a lot of just like player shoes out there. I feel like other than Rohit and LeBron, none of us are really buying a lot of like player shoes or player collabs. I'm all in on the Book Converse. Rohit, other than those LeBrons you bought, any other player shoe you're looking at or kind of interested in?
This is kind of getting
any sport too.
Any
it can
sport,
be any
for sure.
player.
No,
well,
I think it's one of those things where we're going to probably talk on this specific topic a little bit later on, but I'm waiting for the Ja ones to come out in any way, shape, or form. And granted, there are probably non-basketball circumstances that are halting that release. And then I may sound like a broken record, but the Sabrina Ionescu 1, I still think that might be one of the best design shoes I've seen. And I'm really interested to see how that tracks, because aesthetically, it's already done the impossible, which is it looks good in the pre-photos, because I think so much of our recent episodes has been about the fact that we'll see a leak of a particular shoe and the picture doesn't make it vibrant or doesn't make it pop. And then as they clean those photo ups, it gets better and better. So when you have it in your hand, you kind of are salivating for it. Knock on wood, the Sabrina 1 has already kind of hit that apex for me that I'm ready to cop the shoe. Just give me a when and where and why.
Yeah.
All right, Mike, any brand, hit me.
Yeah, no, I mean, I gotta follow Rohit with the Sabrina Ionescu one.
Okay.
That's one I forgot about, because it was one of those, like, it showed a bunch of pictures of it and they really stopped talking about it for a minute. So I'm waiting for that one to come out. It looks like a pretty solid hoop shoe. But another sneaker, we're gonna switch sports and we're gonna go to the former Nike athlete known as Roger Federer, and they're coming out with the Zoom Vapor and the Racer Blue Jordan collaboration on the 18th. I will be getting that shoe. I don't know how, don't know when, but at some point there will be a rocking and copping of me holding that shoe up.
Mike, do you think it is going to be popular enough? Because I don't know if it would maintain the peak popularity of previous versions of this. Like, and I'm really interested to see why they brought the Racer Blue out so long after, what was the most recent colorway that was released, the Fire Red AJF VP3 or whatever?
Yeah, that's a great, I feel like they should have done that one a long time ago when they released the Racer Blue Jordan 3. I think they should have done a white cement. Makes more sense because they just did the reimagine or re-release the black cement in bigger quantities, since it's, I know it's 35th anniversary of the 3. I think that's why they're bringing it back out this year. I'm thinking it is going to be a no. I think if it comes out on sneakers, you know how it does. They'll sell it on sneakers, whatever stock that is, but then it's going to start popping up on Nike's website. I don't see this one being as hard to get because Roger's not attached to it anymore. So those hardcore fans have moved on to On where he is, where his sneaker is. And Racer Blue is not, and at least I could be wrong. I didn't feel like it was one of the more popular Jordan 3 colors. And I think that's kind of working against it, but also in my favor of actually getting it.
It's missable. It's a shade of blue, storm blue, racer blue, whatever, right?
They're not advertising it well either. They're really just
it's a whatever colorway.
I got a pop-up on Nike on that one. And they're like, oh, it's coming out. But that's it. You have to go deep into like your Nike app messages. And it's in there with like the Jordan 6 golf shoe that just came out. Things are just kind of there. They want to sell it, but they're like, we're okay with it not going away immediately.
Yeah. Rohit, speaking of selling shoes and not coming out immediately, I just did a quick look. The Ja 1 was supposed to be coming out the 19th of April, which is a Wednesday, this coming Wednesday. Yeah. And just doing a quick checkity check on Nike and sneakers, that is not on the calendar anymore. And to me, that's interesting only because Nike hosted a whole media day extravaganza for the release, the announcement release of the Ja shoe. So you wouldn't put a date, even back then, they put a date of April on the release. And we all know Ja's league issues right now. So it's interesting to see it not on the calendar, but it's also interesting to see the immediate distance by Nike. And I think Nike's really, really good at that. Take that as a detriment or a positive. I kind of mean it in a detriment because, they won't break ties with people that quickly, but they'll ghost you. They'll ghost you for as long as you're hot, right? So right now, Ja's hot in the wrong ways. Even though it's cooled off a lot, I just don't see them putting this shoe out now until summertime. What do you guys think? There's going to be a date on it anytime soon?
I have this theory because, like you said, Robbie, the heat is cooling off in a legal sense for Ja. But the other thing that is heating up is a basketball sense because unless my math is wrong, the playoffs start this weekend. And who would Ja and his Memphis Grizzlies play in that first game?
Mr. LeBron
Lakers.
James.
LeBron James. And if I know Nike, or I think I do, I could be completely off, and that's well within my purview. What better way to christen the arrival of the Ja one? Give me a sneakers surprise drop, in a sense, because ultimately you've got LeBron 20 going against the Ja one. And all the other marketing we keep hearing about Ja is he's the first Gen Y athlete that Nike has given a signature shoe to. And I think that would be the perfect culmination of that, because now we're not necessarily calling it a passing of the torch, but we are kind of saying that there is a movement afoot, to borrow the bad pun. And if things are right, and things are right in the sense that they deliver the shoe that I want them to deliver first, go ahead and make that Memphis or that Vancouver Grizzlies one be the drop shoe, because I think that's the best way to attract people. And the minute Ja has that superstar moment in that first game, and we know it's a question of when and not if, that's when I think it has to go live. But ultimately, I think it's also going to be predicated on how deep Memphis and Ja go this playoffs, because there could be a very real possibility that the King and the Lakers sweep him, or there could be a possibility that they have that Western Conference Finals run in them. And then what better way to do it? Because then you've got the most set of eyes as well, because that's when the global audience starts following.
Yeah. I just noticed on, so I was going through I know it wouldn't be a sneakers release. It'd be just a normal Nike drop because it's, basically a team shoe. Not only have they scrubbed it from the list, but now another athlete has overtaken the signature basketball drops that are coming out around this time, and that is going to be Jason Tatum. I feel like they switched gears, not only because they're both number 2 seeds in their respective conferences. Jason Tatum has kept his nose clean and honestly on a better team. I would assume, Rohit, we're going to get that kind of surprise drop during the playoffs. That makes the most sense. It's the way to do it to re-engage the audience if they ever have a feeling of, oh, man, I don't know about this guy anymore. Have him, let's say he breaks a 50-piece off in one of these games, win or lose, they're going to have this whatever, hey, wear this Vancouver colorway for this game. Boom, we're dropping that one as soon as the game's over. Or, we've seen it before. But I think it's going to be a guerrilla drop. They're going to kind of do guerrilla-type marketing. It's the only way it's going to work now, because let's push an athlete who has no issues. Jason Tatum, and they're pushing 2 or 3 colorways already on the website, which is crazy. We just got their first look at that shoe, and Josh just slowly is fading out over here. So it's going to have to be just kind of one of those, boom, I'm here, and just kind of go at that point.
And that's the type of play Ja makes during the game. Go ahead, Robbie.
Yeah, just play devil's advocate. There's been at least 30 different Nike moments the past couple of years. Like, they got to release a shoe now, and they don't do crap.
True.
So it's
very true.
They're the master of this. And that's the marketing genius that they've been able to produce over the past 40 years. Is they're so big now where we discuss amongst ourselves, they're going to do a John Morant thing, not us particularly, but fans,
the world,
and then fuck you guys, we're not going to drop anything. And it's it's interesting because they can't afford this jaw thing to not go. Let's put it that way. Just not even just smoothly, but that ship has to leave the port. And on top of that, there just isn't that much excitement around Nike basketball. We just saw the new Nike GT Jump 2. If you were to squint, not even that hard, it's the GT Jump 1, just with less exposed fly wire. It's harder to see through the shoe is my biggest takeaway.
Looks like a smidge lower. I mean, I'm trying to pick out things that are different. So
it's a stretch between the two.
But isn't that what a jump is? A stretch of athleticism?
It is literally a jump to call this like a secondary model in my humble opinion. But there's just not, outside of that LeBron stuff, which is frankly mad overpriced. I have access to employee store pricing too, and I don't buy a pair of LeBron 20s. And I love LeBron. You're not getting that much money out of me out of a shoe I'm not going to play basketball in. So it's just another shoe in the closet, really, to me. Do you guys see any light at the end of the tunnel? Do you care about this GT Jump 2? Do you care about maybe like a GT Cut 2? Would that be better to you?
I mean, the GT Cut's the one. So if you notice when that first line came out, the GT Run, GT Cut, GT Jump, out the gate, GT Cut was deemed as like the greatest basketball shoe ever. There were rumors. Rohit, you can confirm, deny, or tell us offline, but I heard that this was supposed to be a next Kobe, but some things happened. But that's just around the rumor mill that the GT Cut was. GT Run, GT Jump, fade away in the background. Now they're bringing them back. It's a great play by Nike, I think, because they're creating a line that is unisex basketball, which we were talking about before, and which Nike's been pushing a lot of their shoes anyway. If you look at the boxes, they produce both men and women's sizes on the tags. But this is great that you can have a singular line that can really represent multiple types of player. But the thing is, they have to perform well. The GT Cut apparently performed off the charts, but the Jump is, I've heard, just a watered down LeBron, basically. The Run just didn't have a great feeling overall from what I've seen, which sucks if it's supposed to be the Run. I like the idea. I like that they're trying to push Nike basketball back into the forefront like it was in those, early 2000s up to about 2014. We just gotta wait and see. I mean, I'm not mad at it because I that's what got me in. Like, I love sneakers, but that moment of Nike basketball just being just glorious, that's what really was my peak time of being a sneaker collector.
I think not only that, where the GT ball or the GT line, in my opinion, has dropped the ball is the fact that there hasn't been compelling storytelling. Usually whenever we get these type of pods of shoes, you would always see the 60-second spot or the 30-second spot from Nike saying, hey, this is this player that we're associating with this particular brand. So I guess Ionescu was the cut muse. I forgot who was the jump muse. And the Run, frankly, I haven't heard heads or tails about. But it's one of those things where I think if they had done a better job in terms of associating a player specifically with those shoes as opposed to a type of movement or a type of activity in basketball, it's a lot more tangible. And when things are more tangible, people are more likely to buy them, in my opinion. That being said, every single one of those muses that we've associated with the GT line now have their own signature shoes. So if nothing else, it seems like it's a launching off point. But then at the same time, who wants to be the face of that shoe if they can't tell that story properly?
Yeah, well, Nike just has to do what Adidas is doing right now, which I don't think people would ever suspected to say that. But if you look at what Adidas is doing now with their basketball line, they have completely just refreshed. We have a whole new, line of basketball shoes coming out here in the near future. They have a campaign around it, but they've already started to release. They're coming back out with that basically that Boost You Wear, and they already have this great social media campaign with their Jalen Green, a lot of their new players wearing the shoe, really pushing it, and they're putting young players in them. I mean, Adidas isn't one just to throw around a signature shoe, so you're going to have people wearing those on the court for a while as opposed to, like you said, a jumping off point. Because you're right, everyone who's wearing a GT Cut, it was a stepping stone to get their shoe. So they just have to put some fresh players, keep them in there, and ride it out.
So the shoes Mike's talking about is the Adidas Select family. That's the shoe line. And why that is interesting, they have Anthony Edwards wearing it. They have Jalen Williams wearing it. They have Jalen Green, wearing them. And having these young athletes in that shoe is why nobody cares about the GT stuff. Because sometimes you see Jordan Poole in it, but there's no Jordan Poole faux PE, right?
Yeah.
I mean, there would always be a DeMarcus Cousins colorway of a shoe, or a Devin Booker, or insert player X, Andre Iguodala, right? And now it's just, here's a GT Cut and 50 different 50 different team colorways that you're never going to wear as a team shoe because they're fucking boring. And why would you wear a boring GT Cut when you can wear a way more fun looking take down LeBron model? That blue and orange thing is way more interesting than any of these things being released.
One other thing, not to belabor a dead horse of a point.
Yeah.
Nike's always done a great job of having a transition ready. So to Mike's earlier point about basketball sneakers being very exciting for him at the turn of the teen decade, you had Kobe, you had LeBron, you had KD. ultimately they represented a cycle of 5-year span between them. So when Kobe would age out, LeBron would take the Kobe spot, KD would move over, and then you would get a Giannis or a Kyrie.
Yeah.
We're not seeing that type of line of succession that we have in previous eras of Nike basketball. And I get that there may be some sort of internal mandate saying, hey, we need to get away from sponsored athletes because ultimately the product should speak for itself. It can't be that way. We make this comparison all the time in Formula One, whether it's the driver or the car. We'd like to think it's the driver, but it's really the car. And in this case, it's almost the inverse because the players needed to sell the shoe. I mean, as great of a Jordan 1 or a Jordan 2 or Jordan 3 or Jordan 4, whatever your favorite Jordan is, it doesn't resonate the same unless Michael Jordan was behind it, whether it be some sort of defining moment or some other sort of extracurricular activity, whether it be within pop culture or something else.
Yeah.
When is the last sneaker moment that has happened in popular culture, non-Jordan related, that's caused somebody to be like, you know what? I want to get a pair of Kobe's. I want to get a pair of LeBron's. I want to get a pair of KD's, Giannis's, whatever.
No, it's all reverts to tunnel fits. Like everything now has turned not into a sport, but what am I wearing to get to the arena? Like there's no, I mean, that's because the next shoe I want to get is on my list, like marked down next basketball shoe. Haven't even seen a court to my knowledge, but it's the Air Zoom Generation, the purple pair. It was a LeBron PE he wore on, courtside. He didn't put it on the basketball court, but we're not getting those moments because I don't want to say it's the ruling now that they can just kind of put on whatever they want, but it kind of is because they're not kind of locked into, hey, I got to make this the best shoe possible. They say, I don't like this one, I'm throwing this. I mean, you got people, Nike sponsored athlete, PJ Tucker. He's not getting a signature, but people more intrigued by him than they are Jason Tatum or Ja Morant, not because they played better by far, but you got PJ Tucker's going to whip out a pair of Travis Scott ones on court, something like that. So it just kind of diminishes I want to see this signature. What is a signature basketball shoe going to do? I feel like just the generation now, they don't care necessarily about the sport as they do about, again, what they're wearing to get to the arena.
Yeah. I mean, that's all very correct, but this the greater issue to kind of take us away from basketball, because I know a lot of our listeners do not care about basketball, is this like shoes, in this the Jordan line's the easiest example, or the Penny Hardaway or Barclays, right? The design was so good it didn't matter what sport the shoe was for, right? You wanted to wear the shoe. No sane person, and I mean this without hyperbole, no sane person is going to look at a GT cut or a GT jump and be like, yeah, that's like my going out shoe. That's like my all-purpose shoe. I'm going to go, no, like nobody
That's
even
fair.
playing basketball wants to wear that shoe. The design is so bad and alienating that it limits the buyer instantly. There's no curb appeal. The only curb appeal to that shoe is when it's $40 at Marshall's. That's when people are interested in it. Even just think about the BB4, right? That's a really tough design to take, but it was still good enough, not just good enough, like it barely made the cut. It was interesting enough, daring enough. The leather construction, the shocks were used on running shoes. People could put all these different elements together and think, man, I could wear those BB4s to gym class if you're a high schooler, to gym class, after school to go get snacks, and to basketball practice, and like it fits all my needs.
Well, you can bring
Now
that back
Nike-
to LeBron 9s, LeBron 10s, like anything LeBron 10 and earlier.
I mean,
people wearing, hey man, that was an era of, you look up, people were wearing jeans and
it
LeBrons for a
definitely
minute.
is. No, but now though, and I have a lot of LeBrons. You look corny wearing LeBrons and blue jeans, like any LeBron retro. Not any, most LeBron. And I wear LeBron retros with blue jeans. I know it. But that shoe doesn't age like, and that's like in towards the tail end of when shoes could still be for the street to walk around in and for the hardwood to play in. But like, God, people look stupid in those LeBron 9 outfits, and I would rock them too. I was in that wave. I have a mirror. I can look at myself and call this out.
My Canon 9s with a pair of khakis tomorrow and see what's up.
Man,
I'll wear big
cargo
bangs
shorts.
with my jeans tomorrow. Let's do it. We're having LeBron.
No one's gotten a
Thursday
hand job
was today.
No one's gotten a hand job in cargo shorts since Nom. Shout out to Superbad. But that's the last time basketball shoes look good enough to actually wear on the court. Like, the reason why we care about foam posite Galaxies Galaxy foams even now is because that shoe looks so damn good. Dalton liked them, right? You know, you don't have to care anything about basketball. Like, and there's so many people who just don't care, and that's okay. Basketball is a very small niche sport. But when you see some dude in Rome wearing a pair of, Bordeaux 7s in 1993, that's because that shoe looks so damn good. Like, those days are long gone, man. And
if I'm getting the crux of your thesis, Nike and basketball sneakers in general kind of lost their way when they decided, hey, let's have a separate track for performance basketball versus leisurely basketball.
And it's greed the same way I saw an ad for the North Face advertising you giving the stuff of theirs that you bought already back to them so they can recycle it is the biggest hokey load of crap ever. It's like, oh, give us the shirt we paid for, that you paid for, and our designed obsolescence is going to put that back in our hands, and you're going to buy another one. Nike's like, hey, people wear these damn BB4s too much. We got to make shoes that are uglier, so they wear the BB4s outside when they're not hooping, and they wear another shoe because they're only buying the BB4.
Keep your third eye woke. Keep your third eye.
You gotta keep it open, man. It's not just Nike, man. Apple's out there for you too. All these companies are out there to get you. Like, they want you to buy more. They want you. Hey, you don't got the shoe in black yet. You have it in white. Buy the shoe in black. It's like, no.
This has been Consumer Report history.
It is. I mean, this really does get me riled up because just like you just see this how much it's changed, and a lot of it is materials and sourcing and economics and geopolitical issues. But god damn it, basketball shoes just looked cooler when they were made of leather. Even when they were made out of Flyknit, you could get away with it a little bit. Now it's just like, what is the GT jump made out of? Like, what is that upper? It's like, it's been so far removed and so
just bring the Hyperdunk back. Just bring the Hyperdunk back from 2012. And I wore mine in the streets. I have no shame in that. I wore my Brazil color Hyperdunk 2012s. They're still in my trunk of my car some kind of way.
Mike, that's a great point. No, that's a killer point, because my buddy who was an athlete in New Zealand was talking to me about how he ran professionally in the Vomero 5 back in 2006. Like, that was the workhorse of like running for the team he was on. And now it's just like, you can't run these Vomero 5s. You got to buy an Next Percent 4 because it's not double stack zoom exposed. It's like, are you shitting me right now? Like, humans' feet have not evolved. Like, were they 8 feet? Were they 8 feet 10 years ago, and our feet just
slapping the ground?
LeBron toes? Like, what was it? It's not that different, man. Like,
we're just
I kind of get the jump from like a literal, if you see in the Air movie, like an OG Pegasus on Ben Affleck's feet, to like a Vomero 5. That's a big leap. A Vomero 5 to like what you can't be caught dead running in now is just like marketing, and it's just $220 instead of $120 like the Vomero was.
Here's a viral video idea. Next time any of you guys are going to a sneaker convention, just wear a pair of Monarchs and just record everyone's reaction to that.
No, because people love that. Just funny enough, that was brought up to me the other day, and I saw somebody, just a picture of someone wearing Monarchs that were painted to look like Jordan 1 Chicago's. People loved it.
No. I want your basic white and navy, and I don't want you to have like one of those thrifty T-shirts that Robbie also hates. Just like a solid Hanes white
jean
tee,
shorts.
Nah, man, Costco brand.
Kirkland socks, and just do that, because I agree with you. If you are dressed to the nines and then you decide to wear a pair of Monarchs, you're not getting it. In fact, you're trying too hard to be the opposite of it. No, just embrace the washed king narrative. Anyway.
Well, you know what? I know we're going to drag this topic to the ground, I feel like, but I have to. It's something me and Robbie were talking about earlier on Instagram. You put the story up of the same shoe, different brand, basically, in that same gray and white color. And I think I'm to the point of we laugh. People just are buying the same shoe, just at different brands. I think that's why I will still throw on my LeBrons and go out in the streets, because I'm so tired of seeing the same thing all the time. That's why I will wear my questions in the street. I will wear my LeBron 3s, which are Timberland boots, in the middle of summer, because it's like, if I have to see one more, White Solomon, I have a pair of gray Vomeros, but I only have one. Like, that's it. There was nothing else to go. I didn't buy the gambit of all of them. I just have one, but that's like, you know what? we're all going to wear the same thing now, but it's like, just wear something different. And it just bothers me so much that people are like, oh, you can't wear that with jeans. You can't wear. Yes, I can. And watch me do it. I don't care what you say.
I have a mortgage. You don't tell me what I get to wear.
I have bills. Leave me alone.
I want to get it misconstrued. Like, I don't like, it's 2023, Mike. Wear some short shorts. Wear some hoochie daddy shorts like a grown man.
Oh, my knees are out.
On.
He doesn't need to be a
my knees out with the LeBron's 9.
No, that's okay. But I'm talking the tucking, like people who tucked in their jeans underneath the LeBron 9 tongue. Like, that shit's the most stupid
501s with some LeBron.
My point is, if you're doing that now, I'm flying to Houston and just cutting the tongue off the LeBron 9. It's easy.
No, I don't do
it's
that.
Like that. It's that loose mesh. I'm cutting the
my
tongue
jeans
off.
are nice and fitted. You know, like I make it look like I look respectable. I look like I have a mortgage.
But at this point, it's like, if you're gonna wear pants, just don't wear LeBrons. Like, I mean, that's a whole other topic. But
pants plus LeBrons, no.
I'm only wearing pants and LeBrons now.
No, okay, sweats are different. I'm talking blue jeans, gray jeans.
No, I know what
khakis.
you mean. Though, like you can't go back to the
I
oversight.
also know what you mean, and now I'm really trying to see how deep of a hole I can dig myself out of.
Gray sweats are LeBron appropriate. Other than that,
can we get a Patreon episode where it's just you styling LeBrons?
That's the next Robbie's closet.
Sweatshirt, gray sweatpants, LeBron 9 lows. You're cooking. Outside of that, make basketball shoes great again. Make basketball shoes so good that people who do not like basketball need to wear those things again. And
what New Balance does, man. They made a Kawhi that looks like the all gray, 990 series. I'm like, those smart bastards. I mean, I don't like the shoe, but I see what they did there. I see what they did.
They're trying. They could put that shoe could have a button where you. Damn, this is the only way I would buy Kawhi Leonard New Balance is if for some way. If there's a button on the side of the Kawhi Leonard shoe with like 5 different buttons, and it's Kawhi laughing, it's Kawhi talking about cheesecake, or no, Kawhi talking about French toast. It's like the little like keychain things that make different sounds. Yeah. I want that with Kawhi catchphrases on the New Balance.
I was thinking Woody from Toy Story, where you pull that string on his back and he says 1 to 5 phrases.
That's even better. Give me the string. You pull the string, and as it recoils or retracts,
can you make the string the shoelaces?
Hey,
tugging on the shoelaces.
New Balance hit me, so I'm going to quit talking because I don't want to give away my good ideas. Anywho,
Boardman.
Thank you for listening. We're going to stop. See, this is going to be the last episode. We talk about basketball shoes for a little bit, just because we need to find other topics other than basketball shoes. It's tough.
It's playoff time, though. We're going to talk about basketball shoes.
It's the lifeblood of the industry. I mean, for a lot of people, that's the reason why they got into sneakers, and basketball sneakers are definitely gateway drugs in that sense. I would say this, like, it's a holy trinity of topics. What I feel like has been our core curriculum for the last 18 months, which is it's dunks, it's the dad shoe genre, and it's basketball shoes. And right now we're in a big basketball shoe phase. And to Mike's point, we've got the playoffs. Here's hoping we see something so captivating from an athletic standpoint that we all have the same reaction, which is I need to cop whatever shoe this is because I just saw something so magnificent, so incredible that I need to at least be associated with it in the most convoluted sense.
So LeBron, do something amazing with the LeBron and bring the LeBron 21 out just mid playoffs. Let's just make it happen.
Or here's another one. Very random NBA player, get early access to the Sabrina ones. Do something in that. That
too
truly
smart.
lets you know it's a unisex shoe.
That's too smart for them to do. This is literally just too smart for them to do. I'd be impressed if someone did that, and I would buy them immediately.
Anyway, we're
only
stop
time will
about
tell.
Basketball shoes because I don't want to make Robbie mad. Robbie's a dear friend.
Lakers in 6. All right, so let's go ahead and tell the listeners where they can follow you. Mike, do you want to lead us off?
Yeah, you can find me wearing my LeBrons and pants on Sneaker History, Instagram at MadWatcher789, and you can also find me on YouTube under Mike Guillory. So LeBrons all day.
You can find me on Instagram at Big Bang Row, on Twitter at Cannon Row. No, I'm Row at M13, Roheezy on Twitter. You guys know what it is. Robbie, how about yourself?
You can find me wearing LeBrons with no pants.
Whoa, different channel.
With no pants. At Sneaker History. Just follow that page. Anywho, listeners, like, subscribe, tell a friend, invite a cousin to the Discord, whatever it is you do. We appreciate it. So thank you so much. Have a good afternoon.
Write us a review.
Yes, please. Don't be lazy. Review.
Hey everyone, this is Nick again. Before you take off, do us a solid and head over to Apple Podcasts to leave us a review. Give us a rating on Spotify and Amazon Music, and make sure you're subscribed to our YouTube channel because we have even more video content coming soon. Speaking of new content, we have an amazing community of sneaker enthusiasts that hang out in our Sneaker History Discord on a daily basis. While sneakers is a connection point that brought us all together, we've all discovered countless shared passions that we have in common with each other. We recently launched a couple of new podcasts directly from our community. One of them is a Formula One podcast. If you're an F1 fan like me, the Exhaust Notes podcast is your weekly fix of Formula One fun. It's hosted by myself, Rohit Malhotra, and Todd Yates. New episodes drop every Tuesday. I've been wearing fitted hats for years and collecting my favorite teams since I was a little leaguer. It has been awesome to see so many new fans getting into fitteds in recent years. Crown and Stitch is our new talk show about fitted hats with Dexter, Keith, and myself, where we talk about fitted hats, snapbacks, throw in some obscure hats because we all kind of like some funky stuff once in a while, don't we? Copping, collecting, and so much more. New episodes drop every Wednesday. Hit the links in the show notes for this episode to give our new shows a listen, and be on the lookout for more new podcasts dropping soon. Last but not least, tell someone you like their kicks today. You never know how far a simple compliment can take you, and we all know how good it feels to have someone show their appreciation. Thank you all for the support, and we'll catch you on the next episode. Peace.